GGRC.
Hey everybody, welcome to another trailer reaction for E3 2019 with me, RC, here on GGRC. Of course, my co-pilot, co-host, Sushi, sleeping as always. I had one more game actually crop up recently that I am really looking forward to at this point because I watched some gameplay on it earlier today. E3 is getting to the point where, you know, there's one more day left. It's getting ready to wrap up here. Always a sad state of affairs, but I managed to find one more game that I think is going to be something I'll want to play in the future. Now, I believe they showed Trials of Mana. I forget if it was during the Nintendo or the Square Enix conference. I'm not really sure if it was during the Nintendo Direct or the Square Enix press conference. But regardless, when they showed the trailer for this, I was not in it at all. Like, I was just kind of like, okay, sure. And we'll watch the trailer for this, and you know, I'll sort of show you why. But earlier today, I was actually watching the Nintendo Treehouse live, you know, stream that they do every year, and they actually had the developers on to play a little bit of Trials of Mana, and I was actually kind of blown away by how the game actually plays. So let's check out the trailer here first, and I'll show you what I am looking forward to with this game. All right, let's jump to the front. And here we go.
In a world on the brink of war, the power of mana suddenly starts to weaken.
So it kind of starts like any other, you know, anime type RPG game trailer. You know, there's a little bit of story that's thrown out there. A lot of times with these games, I feel like the story is just very like ho-hum. Like, it's the same as any other story. There's a lot of anime characters who don't really have a lot of appeal for me. And when I saw this trailer, I kind of felt the same way. I was just kind of like, all right, you know, it's a action RPG of some sort, and watching it through here, I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, big deal, right? And you got this big crab monster here, which we'll actually get into the gameplay with this crab monster, which is kind of cool.
6 destinies entwine. Their world will be born anew.
These RPGs, they're always so dramatic with their story, aren't they? So here you go, Trials of Mana. From the trailer, I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, it's another RPG type of thing. But then, earlier today, they actually showed off what the gameplay looks like. So let's jump into some of this here, and we can check it out. So, what they have going on here is a third-person perspective RPG with beautiful art. And even though you saw just a glimpse of it in the trailer, this shows off a lot more of it. Here, we'll see if we can fast forward here just a little bit. Here we go. So this is what I was watching earlier. You play as this character with the long hair or whatever, and this literally is like a button-mashing action RPG game. When I actually saw it in action here, I was like, oh my god, this is the kind of game it is. So you play as all these characters. You know, they level up as they destroy all the enemies in the area here. I really like the UI in this. The UI is very clean. The only thing that's behind my webcam is a small mini-map that shows where you're at, and it also gives the quest that you're currently on. You can see part of it below my webcam. But when I saw this, I was actually pretty blown away because it was not exactly what I was expecting from this game. I was expecting just another, like, really heavy-handed, like, dramatic, you know, dramatic story RPG type game. And the Secret of Mana series has actually been around for quite some time. I believe it got started on the SNES or the Super Famicom, and it's not a series that I'm super familiar with, to be quite honest. But when I saw this gameplay, I was just kind of like, oh wow, there's jumping, there's attacking. It feels just like a fun third-person action game, but with RPG elements in it. Okay, so you get a little bit of that. Let's see, let's fast forward further. I want to show you the actual boss battle here, because the boss battle with the crab is what really sold me when they showed that. I'm trying to get to that point. Sorry guys, it is way further into this video because this is like 24 minutes of them showing the game off. And here we go. So they run into this area. This gigantic crab shows up. Beautiful art style, by the way. I absolutely love the way this game looks. Not only that, but can you see how the game is running too? It's running at full clip here, and it looks great and runs great. But when I saw the boss fight here, I was in. I was like, okay, this looks like a ton of fun. You're swapping between characters. You're jumping in here using your spells to keep others alive. I'm a big fan of real-time combat in RPGs. I really like that kind of stuff. Turn-based is fine too, but I much prefer this style of combat here. But when I saw this boss battle, though, I was just like, it looks beautiful. There's a lot of abilities from the characters that you could take advantage of by switching back and forth to everybody. And it just looks like a hell of a lot of fun to play, personally. And this video alone is what put it over for me as a game that I'm going to be excited to check out when it comes out next year. That's the unfortunate part, is that it doesn't come out until next year sometime. I think they're aiming for spring, but who knows if it'll get delayed or whatever, which is fine. I guess there's enough games coming out this year, right? So many coming out to keep up with. One of the other cool things to note here, too, is that even though you can fight the crab in 3D here, if we rewind back to this video, when I first started it, you find out that you can actually play the game in 2D if you so choose as well, which I thought was really, really cool. So if you so choose, you can switch the game back and forth, which I thought was just a really cool touch. I'm just kidding. It's actually a collection of mana. You cannot play it in 2D or whatever. But if you do want to play the original game in 2D, you can get Collection of Mana on Switch, and you can play it there right now. But if you want to get the really, cool 3D style graphics here with the crab and everything, you're going to have to wait. There we go. They defeat the crab. It explodes. Boom. See you later. And there it goes. There's the victory music. Very nice. But yeah, guys, Trial of Mana, like I said, looks great. I am at a point in my life where I am not super into RPGs anymore. So when I find one that actually looks appealing, I'm actually quite surprised. While this and Final Fantasy VII are on my list, I'm actually very shocked by those things, to be quite honest with you. Because I've gotten to a point in my life where I'm just not, I'm not really into super long RPG games anymore. There was a time in my life in the 90s where I really, really liked RPGs. I loved the idea of spending a lot of time in one game and unlocking everything and finding everything, but I kind of grew out of that. And a lot of the RPGs that come out, nowadays, they feel so much like the games that came out, 20, 25 years ago, that it's just like, I'm just playing the same game again. Given they're in 3D now, but it's the same stories, it's the same characters, it's just like, every game feels like it's the exact same one that came out right before it, but these actually, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but they have a different feel to them. This one especially. I think it's partly the art style, and I think it's also the gameplay. It's really nice to see a full functioning, RPG that actually has a really nice combat system. So it looks like a ton of fun, and I'm looking forward to checking it out when it comes out. But there you go, guys. That may be the last trailer reaction I have for this year. So I want to thank you all for joining me during these. And of course, I'll see you in the next video. See you then.